Guys, I hope you are doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about the trade we took this morning on dollar JPY, and we're gonna talk about all the steps that we have in modern RTM strategy. Here we found the kink, like the first step as our first step, which is finding a kink in the bearish trend. We found this one, and at the end, we found this small box, and we call it our MPL. And as a result, we put the entry point or entry point right under the box, and the stop loss was above the box with considering the spread. So stop loss was somewhere around here, and we were supposed to take 1-to-4 risk-reward ratio, but because we had an important news like around 1 hour ago, we had to close the position at 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio. So let's just go to JForex and let's see what happened. This is the trend we saw this morning from here till here, and in the middle of trend we found this kink, and it's gonna be the first box in our modern RTM strategy, right? As the second step, you have to change your time frame. You have to go to 5 minute chart or lower time frames if it's possible, if it's better. And meanwhile, you have to look for a holder kink, right? We extend the box to the left hand side till we have all the candles inside the box. And here, using the first leg, second leg, and the third leg, which starts from here and it ends here, we have to look for a kink which held the price twice. So here in this leg, I don't see any holder kinks, but here I see a small kink right there. And as you can see, if I zoom in, you can see this small kink first made the price to break this low, and in return, it held the price. And if I extend the box, you can see after the lowest low in this scale, the price came back up, and again we have a reaction in this box. So this one is still, it counts as a holder kink. But like overall, we have to make sure if we don't have any other holder kinks. So since I don't see anything here in the second leg, I change the scale to this side, which is the third leg. And here I see a small, it's not that small, but it's a kink. First, it helped the price to break this high, as you can see, if I zoom out. It helped the price to break this one. In return, it held it. And if I extend the box, you can see we have a very good reaction. And since I don't see any other holder kinks here in the third leg, so overall, we have only this box, which we found in the second leg, and this one in the third leg. But which one is more important, and which one we should take for finding the MPL? As you can see, the box that we have here in terms of the scale, like this box is way bigger than this one. The reactions we have in return for this box is way better than this one. So overall, we have to take this box as our holder kink, and we extend. In the last leg in the box in the kink, as the third step, we have to take the first and the second touch. Here I take the first touch, and here we have the second touch right here. Excuse me. So since using the holder kink, we were able to find the touches. Now we have to make sure if the orders inside the first box, like first touch, they are already taken. If it wasn't the case, we can use the first touch to find our MPL, which is the final box. But if this like reaction was to the MPL, that means if this like a small comeback was for the MPL and MPL was already consumed, we have to put our order here inside the second touch. And for doing so, you have to again change your time frame, 1 minute chart, ticks chart, 10 seconds chart, and you have to find your MPL. So first, I delete the second touch and I have to look for the first order zones inside the first touch. As always, I extend the box and I have to look for the holder kink in this leg, and this one, right? And you extend the box till you will have all the candles inside the box that you drew for your first touch. So here, let's look for a holder kink. If I take this one, it didn't make the price to break like an important high here. This one, it counts as a high, but it's not an important high. But this one, for example, it counts as an important high because the scale, the candles, you see. So also, even if I extend the box, the reaction I see is not something that I wanted, like for my DP, the holder kink. So I change my time frame and I go to 10 seconds chart for better observation. And here, using the first and the second leg, I have to find my holder kink, right? Here I see a kink here. First, it made the price to break this low. It held the price, and in return, we have a reaction here. After the lowest low, we have a reaction. I don't see any other holder kinks here. And in this leg, the first leg, I see a small kink. And if I extend the box, that's perfect. First, it made the price to break this high, right? And in return, we had fresh orders, and it made the price to came back and consume the fresh orders here. So it held the price, and in return, we have a very, very good reaction. So overall, we found two boxes in the first touch. And we have to decide either we have to move forward with this one or this one. Since this one, if you pay attention, it made the price to break like a high which was more important than like this low. Even like if you want to count all the candles you see, you can barely count up to like 5 candles here. But this one, in this like high, you can see it was a pause, and you can at least see 10 candles. So this small kink that we found, it made the price to break this high, which was already a pause in this trend, in this bearish trend, which has ended here in this low. Also, if you pay attention to the reaction we have here for this box, it's almost the same as this one. But if you pay attention to the scale of the kink, this small kink, it made the price to move further considering its small size. But it is not the case here in the first box that we found. The reaction you see here, considering its scale, it is not something like considerable. But this one, this small kink, first I made the price to break this high, or better say the pause, this pause, and in return the reaction is really good, comparable to the size of the kink. So overall, we move forward with the second kink that we found. And as always, you have to take the first and the second touch, right? Here, I take the first touch. And here, since after breaking the kink, the price didn't come back to the first touch, that means the fresh order zones, like the fresh orders here inside the first touch, is here and it's intact. That means we have our MPO and it's still fresh, and you can use it as a zone to take trade. And since the second touch that we had here, it hasn't reached the fresh order zone that we found here, that means overall in this bigger kink, the first kink that we found, we have our MPO, the first order zone, right here inside the first touch. So all we need is just to extend the box and see the results. And for taking the trade, again, you have to look for 1-to-4 risk-to-reward ratio as always, as it is a part of our strategy. And your entry point will be just under the box and your stop loss above the box, considering the spread. And you have to look for 1-to-4 risk-to-reward ratio. But here today, because we had like important news, we had to close the trade at 1-to-2 risk-to-reward ratio. But still, you can see, even if you wanted to hold the trade, you could have got at least 1-to-4 risk-to-reward ratio, which is the main rule in RTM strategy, modern RTM strategy. I hope you liked this session. Also, feel free to ask any questions. And till next session, I would say goodbye.